Well, welcome to this sports showcase on Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison. My pleasure to be at North Harford High School on a beautiful day for softball. Carol Barker, my partner, welcome. Missed you all year long. We finally get together on the last game of the year.
Yes, finally the last game. You can't keep an old girl down.
There you go. North Harford, a team that is, average, mediocre this year, having a decent season. See Milton Wright, just a surprise. You and I go back to the days of Spike Up to Grove and 3 straight state championships, 8 total state championships. They are 2-12 this year.
That's hard to believe.
After 1-12 last year, 2-13 actually this year. Talking to Jim French, their veteran coach, and Jim says, it's just one of those cycles where we haven't had the players, and we're hoping that with the young players we have, we're going to be back where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, everybody that's coached any length of time has been through that cycle.
And you know what he says also, they don't have pitching, and you know that in fast pitch softball, if you don't have a pitcher, you're in a lot of trouble.
You're in big trouble.
Big trouble. So that's part of the issue. So North Harford playing at home today. They are 5-7. If they win today, I should say they're 7-9. If they win today, they play Aberdeen on Monday. 2 wins and they could finish 9-9. And obviously, as a coach, finishing 500 is a lot better than finishing below 500.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure they're shooting for this game today, that's for sure.
Christine Mullen is the head coach at North Harford. State police veteran. She retired back in 2019. I checked her for her taser and stuff. Before I talked to her, I said, you don't have a baton or a taser or anything. No, she was fine.
She gave that up.
Yeah. Her daughter, Maggie Mullen, is the starting pitcher for North Harford. So she coached Maggie all the way up through youth leagues, as you can imagine. So she's excited on Senior Day at North Harford. And Carol, you went through that many times as a coach. Senior Day is just something special for the seniors on your team.
Yes, indeed. They look forward to it. I think they mark it on their calendar as soon as the schedule comes out.
Yep, and it was supposed to be yesterday. It got rained out, the game yesterday, and so now it's back today. And so, a very exciting day for the North Harford seniors.
Did they give your pitcher a game ball, Jim?
We're talking about the seniors on North Harford. They were honored just before the game. Morgan Buckland, the senior center fielder, one of the captains on the team, along with Tanya Marks, senior shortstop. The pitcher Maggie Mullen, also a senior. Those are the 3 starting seniors who were honored today, just before the game.
Yeah.
Carol, what they've got to do is they've got to get their mind off that, right? Their mom and dad are here. Their grandparents are here.
Yeah.
It's a big day for them.
Now's the time to show them what it's all about.
Jenna Trezak, you're watching her come out to be the catcher for North Harford, a freshman. Now, we did the Patterson Mill game where they had a freshman catcher. Both catchers today, Carol, are freshmen.
Wow. I noticed, both rosters, it's very definitely loaded with underclassmen.
Yeah, especially if you look at C. Milton Wright. Now, we talk about the Mustangs. They're excellent left fielder, Caitlin Williford. She is batting .559. So, you talk about this being a building year. This is her last year.
Yeah.
Carol, she had a cycle. She hit for the cycle against Joppatown, 5 for 5.
Wow.
A single, a double, a triple, a home run, 7 RBIs. So that's the kind of game that I never had a cycle when I was playing.
I don't think I did either.
I had a bicycle once that I rode on, but that didn't count. So.
Yeah, I looked at the batting averages for the Hawks too. They've only got one gal that's really tearing the hide off the ball.
Yeah, and that's Williford for C. Milton Wright, and for North Harford, they've got a number of players who are playing well. Tanya Marks especially.
Yeah, she's the one that's above 400 in batting.
Setting the lineup for you for North Harford, the home team. Maggie Mullen is the pitcher we talked about. She's 5-5 on the year with a 4.70 ERA, 48 strikeouts in 67 innings. Catcher we mentioned, Jenna Trezak, a freshman catcher, also plays for the Churchville Lightning. Around the infield, Mackenzie Dunaway is the sophomore third baseman. Tanya Marks is that senior shortstop we talked about. Abigail Buckman, a junior, is at second base, and Abigail Salzer, number 18, is the junior at first base. The outfield, Alexis Trezak, and yes, she is the sister of the catcher Jenna Trezak. Morgan Buckland in center field, and Brianna Billings in right field. Interesting, Carol, the Buckland girls, the second baseman and the center fielder, are the daughters of the assistant coach for North Harford.
Ah, little nepotism there, maybe?
Not at all.
Nah.
Not at all.
Nah.
And Tresac, if that name sounds familiar to you and you watch our games, and well, I hope you do, their cousin, Tara Tresac, who plays for Bel Air, was a young lady who scored on that two-base throwing error that we had against John Carroll when they won that game 1-0.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Oh, very exciting. Well, here we go now, leading off for the North Harford Hawks.
No,
I should say for C. Milton, thank you, is Kendra Miller, the freshman. Kendra is the shortstop, batting at .357 on the year, 12 runs, 3 RBIs, and she's got 3 doubles. So just about ready to get underway with Maggie Mullen on the mound. Umpires in the game, Chuck Green is the plate umpire, and Hank Stokes, Hank is the umpire on the bases. On the inside corner, we're underway at just about, what, 3:30 something?
Yeah, 3:39, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
close to the 3:30 start time, considering we had those festivities for senior day before.
So young lady's a freshman.
Yes, she is. Ground ball foul. Had a chance to talk to her before the game, and a very sweet young lady, kind of like freshman the way she talks, but you know, I said playing shortstop, it's such a key position.
Yeah.
She said, hey, I played youth league all my life, and you know, it's not like I'm just playing my first game. 2 strikes, no balls, 2 strikes. The foul ball goes out of play. Ooh, the changeup just a bit outside.
A little bit high and outside, yeah.
That's just not fair, Carol, that changeup. You're all geared up for the fastball. Here it comes in like a floating balloon. 1 ball, 2 strikes, just underway. Inside and low, 2-2. Carol, they have a temporary fence here they built at North Harford at 200 feet all the way around. We're not used to that. Normally we have that wide open spaces.
Right, yeah. Last time I was here, it was wide open. It was pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yeah. Ground ball foul.
She got a little piece of that.
Really impressed with Kendra, how aggressive she is. And again, I keep saying a freshman. Carol, you remember when you were a freshman in school? I know it's been 2 or 3 years perhaps.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
But you know, playing on the varsity as a freshman, I'd have been scared to death. In fact,
Yeah,
I was.
I was always comfortable in softball. I was not necessarily comfortable in field hockey or basketball, but
Down low.
my father had brought me up as a softball player, and he loved baseball, and so softball didn't scare me. The other two, I was a little bit nervous. Yeah.
But Dolores Simmons would have put the fear of.
Oh well, she put the fear in anybody.
3-2, big pitch coming. Ball 4 up high.
Up high.
Good job by Miller. She was down 0-2 and worked the walk.
Worked a walk out of her. Yeah.
Runner on the first base, bringing up Veronica Ingold. Veronica is one of the captains on the C. Milton Wright team, a senior, batting at .333 with 6 RBIs. Coach Jim French, veteran coach. These coaches are amazing. We told you that Christine Mullen is a state police retiree. Well, Jim French was a Vietnam veteran in the Army, and then he got into substance abuse counseling, and he did that, Carol, for 33 years.
Wow.
He's been coaching for 54 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yep.
You are right.
Veronica
Takes a lot of
Ingold.
dedication.
Boy, it really is. I asked him, well, what about next year? He said, well, I'll take a week off after the season's over, up high, ball 1. Then I'll decide. But you know, Carol, you just can't give it up. It's like a...
Well, I'm still coaching the ladies' church team.
It's
so.
like an obsession. Once you're into it, it's you love watching the kids play.
And I've got 34 and 40-year-old kids now, but that's okay. That's a pretty strike.
It was right up on the in the letters.
Yeah, that's a hard pitch to get to.
It is that hard to get on top.
Yeah.
Veronica Ingold headed for the University of Maryland next year, senior. Squares the bunt, pops it up. Tresac can't get to it. I'm talking to plate umpire Chuck Green about Madison Knight, the pitcher for Patterson Mill, and he, like all of us, impressed with the way Miss Knight pitches. He says that Syracuse signed her, but not necessarily as a starting pitcher, as a shortstop, Carol.
Wow.
6'1" shortstop. Down low.
That was a good take by the batter. That would look like it might be a low strike
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
until it came across the plate and then it dipped.
Yeah, pitchers, as you know, Carol, have that rise ball, and they balance it out with the sinker. Fly ball. Moving at the pitcher, it's going to fall in, and it's going to be a base hit. That has to be the shortest base hit we've seen in a while.
Wow. That
Right
was,
on the end of the bat, over the pitcher's head, in front of the shortstop, and it sort of, it kind of dug itself into the dirt out there.
yeah, it was that backspin on it.
Wow.
And
So-
nobody took charge of it. That's the shortstop's job to call that. So.
That's a very good call, Carol. Yeah, I don't know if she had how to play, but it was like everybody looked at each other
Yeah.
and said, you know.
Exactly.
Now here she is, Caitlin Williford. This is the young lady who had the cycle against Joppatown. You all know what that is. Single, double, triple, and a homer.
Yeah.
She said she thinks the last hit she got was a single.
Oh,
Yeah, she already had the
the
double,
three-
the triple, and the homer.
the three big ones, huh?
Yeah. 559 hitter on the year. Inside, no, inside strike.
That ball really moved. That's I think that fooled the batter.
It fooled me. I'll just let the umpire call him from now on. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs. There's that changeup outside. Headed for George Mason next year. I was talking to her. You're going to play ball at George Mason? She said, no, I'm not. That she wants to have college as fun and study. And she doesn't want to be burdened with what was a full-time job if you're going to be
Yeah.
a D1 softball player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Foul
Oh.
back. Well, that was a nice pitch
Yeah, it's
up high
very
and inside.
time-consuming.
Yeah, it's a job. It's not like, you know, fun in high school where you just come out at 3:30 and, you know, play for a couple of hours. Get up in the morning for film study and lifting.
Yeah.
So I admire her. She has the talent to be that kind of a player, but said, nope, I'm just going to concentrate on my studies and taking the whole experience. Right off the handle of the bat.
Yeah, I thought that might be a broken bat, but
They don't break them so much anymore with the aluminum bats.
they're now aluminum, so
Back in our day,
that
that would
dates
have been
me. That dates me.
it would have been a fractured bat and some bumblebees in your hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Top of the first inning. Ground ball into the hole. Backhanded by the shortstop, and the ball is dropped by the third baseman. What a nice play by Marks, but Mackenzie Dunaway, I think perhaps trying to make sure she had her foot on the bag.
Yeah.
So the error charged to the third baseman will load the bases.
Wow. A fluke hit, not an error, and a walk. Wow.
Noelle Beavers now the freshman catcher for C. Milton Wright. 303 hitter on the year.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody out, bases loaded. On that inside corner.
That's a pretty pitch.
Well, Carol, what a nice start for C. Milton Wright, the underdog team coming in with only 2 wins all year and facing North Harford, one of the quality teams in the league. Right now it's
Yeah,
a
if they can cash in on this, it'll give them a big boost.
third baseman, first baseman in close. Foul tip. It's where you need a strikeout, Carol.
Yes, indeed.
Now, if you were the infield, if the ball's hit the shortstop, would you try for 2 second to first, or would you come home?
Oh, tough question. I think I might. It depends on if I'm coming toward home. I think I'd come home.
Yep.
If I'm sort of going right or left, I think I'd try for the double.
Change up just outside.
1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Noelle Beavers, freshman, 303 hitter. .417 slugging percentage, batting cleanup. Up high.
Way high. That one got away from the pitcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Carol, here's where you want to make it happen if you're the pitcher. You don't want to go 3-2.
No. Absolutely. No, she doesn't want to do that.
Second baseman
That is-
Buckland back. Marks back at shortstop. Flying drive center field, moving on it. It's going to fall for the base hit. That'll score at least 1 run. Throw to third base, and she's going to be safe at third. The runner at second. Now the runner's going back to first base. Everybody's safe. That runner at second base had a late start, but she does get down to third base safely. So RBI single for Beavers into center field. Scoring was Miller. Moving up to third base is Ingold. Down at second is Williford, and on at first is Noelle Beaver. Still nobody out. Brings up
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hargis.
North Harford looking for an out.
Nobody out still. Pop up back over our heads. Carol ducks. Carol, I think we're okay here. I think. Not sure.
Hope so. I'm counting on you, Don.
No, I'm going under the table. That's my defense.
It's oh.
One strike. I'm of no help
So
to you.
I got to protect you, huh?
You're on your own. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Down low. Nice scoop. Reminds you of Jenna Trezak, freshman catcher. Talking to Jenna before the game, and again, like all freshmen, she, is a little bit in awe of her upperclassmen, especially this on senior day. But she said, "Hey, she feels comfortable back there." Ground ball foul.
Ball in.
Count holds with 2 strikes. Just a beautiful day for softball. Was it like 75 degrees?
Yeah, when I came out of the car, it was 75 on the dashboard.
A little bit of a breeze.
Yeah,
Nice, pleasant day.
lovely, absolutely lovely.
Change up.
This is the kind of day I love living in Maryland.
You get these about, what, twice a year?
Yeah, if we're lucky.
The humidity will kick in around June, and we'll be sweltering the rest of the summer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Up high.
Ooh.
Full count.
Yeah, she doesn't want that. She didn't want that, but she's got to deal with it.
Elizabeth Hargis, a .303 hitter. 500 is her slugging percentage. 8 RBIs, has a home run. 3-2. Runners will not be running on the pitch with nobody out. You don't want to
Right.
run into an out.
No.
Swung on and missed. There's the strikeout she needed.
Yeah,
That's 1 out.
that's that high strike. It's very difficult to catch up to.
The high heat looks so good. What was it in League of Their Own? Likes the high balls, can't hit them.
Yeah,
Now Jenna Dwyer, the center fielder.
great movie.
Oh, wonderful movie. Jenna, .226 hitter. She's a junior. As we said, the daughter of the assistant coach, Jeff Dwyer. Maggie Mullen, the daughter of the coach for North Harford.
Ball.
Up high, ball 1. 1 out, bases loaded. 1 run in. At this point, it's an unearned run based on that error that happened at third base. Up high.
2 low.
2 balls and no strikes. No place to put her, Carol.
No, I'm sure she's getting a little frustrated maybe. She can't control that fastball.
Ball.
Up
Yeah,
high.
She's high. She's missing her release point.
No place to put this young lady. You walk, drives, and a run.
I would think if she loses this girl, her coach would come out. Yeah,
Ball 4.
yeah, she's struggling right now.
She is laboring, that's no question about it. The RBI walk for Jenna Dwyer. Scoring from third is Veronica Ingold. Moving up is Wilderford to third, and Beavers to second base. On at first is Dwyer. Brings up Savannah Horn. Savannah Horn, the right fielder.
Another freshman.
Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned, Carol, the C. Milton Wright lineup is sparkle with those freshmen. One out, bases loaded, 2 runs in.
1 down.
Horn, a left-handed batter, as you can see, right down on the end of the bat. There's the strike. I'm sure Jim French had told his batter to take a strike, make her come in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Got to 4 straight balls ahead of you. Yeah, you need to take at least 1 strike.
Big hole up the middle. Swung on a miss behind the fastball. Well, whatever they said in that meeting on the mound seems to have made a
Okay,
difference.
just give her a little break, you
Yeah.
know. That's all, all you can do. Just get her a little break, relax her, and say, we're still in this ball game. Let's get them out.
Swung on and missed. There's the second out. Brings up Kara Hoover. Kara, the opposing pitcher, sophomore. Kara was originally going to be DP'd for, but they switched the lineup around, and now she is batting on her own behalf. Fly ball, second baseman moving. It's going to fall. Base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. 4 runs in, and the runner goes down to third base, and the runner at first. So Hoover, helping her own cause, dumps a single into right field. 2 RBIs on that.
Yeah.
Moving down to third base is Dwyer. Scoring is Williford and Beavers. 4 runs in. 9th hitter in the order coming up in this first inning. April Martin, the junior third baseman. 2 outs, runners at first and third for the strike. Boy, Carol, a 4 spot for C. Milton Wright in this first inning.
Yeah, that's they've got to be happy with that.
If you're Jim Prince, that's just what the doctor ordered. Coming in on senior day. Swung on and missed. I want to ask you that Maggie Mullen is a senior, and certainly your mind has to be a little bit off because of the senior day activities. Maybe it takes her a while to get back into the game frame of mind.
She's experienced. Yeah,
there's the strike.
Yeah.
Finally gets out of the inning.
She's experienced enough. I really think it's just observation on that last hit. I think their outfield's a little deep for fast pitch.
That's a good point.
I think they could be in a little bit,
It
especially the bottom of the order.
It fell in there for the base hit. So let's see. They get 4 runs due to the C. Milton Wright Mustangs. They get 4 runs on 1, 2, 3 base hits. There was that one big error that led to the inning being able to be continued.
Right.
So of the 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned. 1 error in the inning, and left on base were 2. So we played now a half an inning, and the C. Milton Wright Mustangs with a big 4-0 lead. So Carol, I'm going to put you in your coaching position now. If you're the coach for North Harford, Miss Mullen, Christine Mullen, what do you say to your team?
Well, you say it's early. We've got 7 at-bats to go, and we need to take good swings and make good decisions on what we're going to swing at, and just play our game.
Good advice.
If she's going to give you a walk, take it. We need base runners.
She being Kara Hoover, who got that big base hit that drove in 2 runs.
Yeah.
Kara, an inexperienced pitcher, and that has been the real bugaboo for C. Milton Wright this year is pitching. I was talking to the assistant coach. He said in one game they gave up 18 walks to the opposing team.
Ooh,
18 walks.
It makes me, it gives me cold chills.
Can you imagine?
No.
Okay, Madeline Rhodes, I'm sorry, batting. Madeline is a senior, not normally a starter. This being senior night, she is starting as the leadoff hitter for North Harford. Again, Carol, you know that as a coach, senior night, you've got to get all your seniors in.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they're not the players that have been playing all year.
Right, yeah.
Ball 2 down low. Kara Hoover, a 3.7 GPA student, also plays volleyball. Down low. Kara wanted that pitch.
Yeah, I would have too if I was pitching.
But the only opinion that counts is that of Chuck Green.
Yeah.
3-0, she swings. It's a fair ball down to first base, and the out is recorded. Boy, that's a nice play from April Martin over to Elizabeth Hayjack.
Yeah, I thought sure that was going to go foul.
I did too. I'm surprised she swung on 3-0.
Yeah.
So the out is recorded.
If I were the coach, I'd call her over and say,
3-0, I believe it is supposed to be a take.
3-1, if you like it, fine. But 3-0, no.
Tanya Marks. That was a nice play by April Martin. She came in, fielded the ball, threw it on the run. Elizabeth Hargis at first base, nice stretch, and so the out is recorded. Tanya Marks, the big hitter, Carol, that you mentioned, 451 batter for North Harford.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
4 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs.
she obviously is seeing the ball very well all season.
2-1.
Noelle Beavers, the catcher, was sure that ball was going to be bunted. She sort of almost fell down fielding it. Don't know whether Tanya Marks really was going to bunt or she was just trying to influence the pitcher. Line drive, center
there's a
field, base hit. Fielded there cleanly by Jenna Dwyer and back in. So Marks ups that batting average from 451. Hard to be batting 451.
Now you rue not getting that at first runner on.
Yes.
Swinging at 3-0.
Yes. Mackenzie Dunaway, the sophomore, batting third in the lineup. 226 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Change up, a little bit outside. Big 4-run rally by North Harford in the top of the first. They lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. Fake bunt going down to second base, sliding safely on the stolen base is Tanya Marks.
2-0.
Catcher Beavers had really no shot. Two balls, no strikes. Runner on at second base.
Whoa.
Little change up, hit right back. Carol Hoover is certainly not a fast pitcher in terms of throwing the ball hard. And I think it's got the North Harford batters maybe a little bit off their game.
Could be, yeah.
It's like facing, remember Jamie Moyer, the left-handed pitcher who pitched forever? Fly ball. Moving on at second baseman, coming in, right fielder, falls in for the base hit. That ball hit right off the end of the bat. Now coming home, and she'll reach home safely without a throw as the ball went to the third baseman instead. That's a mistake by Milton, right?
You got to hit your cutoff.
So she comes to home on the throw.
Give him one base, don't give him more than that.
Dunaway stays at first base on the single to right field. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Morgan Buckman, one of the senior captains. Morgan, a 213 hitter. 2 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs. Pop up, moving shortstop. Miller calls it and makes the catch. Kendra Miller, the freshman. 2 down now.
That's a shame. That was a pitch you want to hit, want to drive.
Notice, Carol, that all the players are wearing a mask, although I noticed the third baseman is not, but it's something that's come in recently in softball where the infielders wear masks. Sometimes the outfielders do as well.
Yeah.
Line drive over the shortstop's head for the base hit. That was Alexis Trezak. Throw coming at third base, and she is going to be safe at third base.
Yeah, nice slide.
And going down to second on the throw. Boy, was that.
She never stopped. She kept on going.
And that's Dunaway.
She had to play in front of her, so she knew what she was doing, I guess. She said, I'm going to challenge you. You got to play ball.
Trezak goes down to second base on the throw, so runners at second and third. 1 run in, 2 outs. That'll bring up Maggie Mullen.
They'd love to get these 2 runners in.
289 hitter was Trezak. Mullen, a 271 hitter. Mullen, who just like her opposite number, Hoover, who got the 2-run base hit back in the top of the first. How much would she like to get that 2 runs in, Carol? 2 down. Runners at second and third. Change up, and the ball is called. Just a bit high.
She almost went for it.
Round the infield, April Martin, Kendra Miller, Veronica Ingold, and Elizabeth Hargis, third to first for Milton Wright. 3 balls, no strikes.
I wonder if this is a little bit of a pitch around. She's probably, being a senior, she's probably a pretty talented hitter.
Takes that strike.
There, that was the one you wanted.
Notice we talked that the first hitter, Madeline Rhodes, who had the 3-0 count and grounded out. This time,
Yeah.
like Carol, like you were saying, that looked like the pitch to hit
Yeah.
with runners in scoring position. Down low. That's ball 4. Bases are loaded.
Yep. Here we go.
We have seen a lot of action here. Dunaway holds on at third, down to second. Staying is Alexis Trezak. On at first is Margie Mullen.
I have a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
And let's see who that is. See if we can see a number there.
I didn't see. I thought it might be 16, maybe. I'm not sure. The double digit.
2 down.
2 down. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Actually, the number 7 hitter, Abigail Salzer.
Ball.
Kind of a cloudy day, and then the sun pops through, and
No breeze blowing. It's lovely.
pop up. Second baseman moving.
Gonna fall, maybe.
Center fielder has the ball, but it drops out of her glove, and 2 runs will score.
Boy.
Tough play for Jenna Dwyer coming in.
Yeah.
Carol, you know when you're running, you're taught to run on the balls of your feet so your head is not bouncing around.
Yeah.
2 down.
I'll let you call that. Was that a base hit or an error?
Wow. I would call it an error.
Yeah, me too. 2-run error, and that scores 2 runs. So the runner from third is Dunaway scores, and the runner from second, Trezak, scores, and brings up the number 8 hitter. Another Trezak, Jenna Trezak.
Just foul.
Just
Wow,
foul.
that was just foul. That would have definitely scored a run, maybe 2.
So now what had been a 4-0 lead is now suddenly a 4-3 game, with a chance for North Harford to tie it or even go a little further.
Ball.
Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Jenna Trezak, the freshman catcher. Down low.
Yeah, my rule was on the error hit thing, if you got your glove on it, you should catch it.
Yeah. It was a difficult play, no question about it.
Oh,
Been
yeah.
a
Yeah.
tremendous play to end the inning. Instead,
But
2 more runs.
she got there. She just dropped it.
Line drive, that's going to be a base hit in the center field. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. The throw back to the pitcher. Cut off throw to third. She's safe. 2 runs score. And just like that, North Harford has taken the lead.
I think just 1 run scored, Don.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that I'm looking around, you're right. Yeah, thank you. 1 run scored. So going down to third base was Mullen, or the courtesy runner. Now we can see that number eventually of the courtesy runner. Now we're getting a courtesy runner also for the catcher.
Number
That's
12, Mariah Messick.
Mariah Messick goes in to be the courtesy runner, and if that young lady on third base will turn around, we'll be able to see her number. We have a tie score now as the courtesy runner to come in.
2 outs, right?
Yep. There's been 2 outs for a while.
Yeah.
That catch in center field would have ended the inning. Stolen base, no throw going down. As Messick goes down into position there.
Ball. 2-0.
This is Brianna Billings, by the way, the number 9 hitter in the order. Another one of the freshmen, right fielder.
Zero.
4-4 tie, as you see, with runners at second and third.
2 out. Base hit, any kind of a base hit in the outfield probably will score 2.
Right off the end with that.
She helped the pitcher out that time.
I think she did. That was another 3-0 pitch, Carol, that the number 9 hitter swung at.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball to shortstop. Fielded, throw to first base, low, and can't scoop it. Run scores. Here comes, nope, going to stay at third base. Play by the shortstop, Kendra Miller. The throw was a little bit low.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hargis couldn't dig it out. And so now that 5th run scores as Salzer comes in from third base.
2 down.
Actually, it was a courtesy runner who came in from third base.
Right.
So the error, I guess we'll have to charge that one to the shortstop, even though
Yeah.
I think it was a ball that the first baseman could have dug out, but it was a little bit low.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd give it to on the throw.
Runners at first and
She
third.
sort of double clutched, and
There goes the runner down to second base.
Okay.
No throw. Runners at second and third.
Ball. 1-2.
So C. Milton Wright, who scored 4 runs in the top of the first, looked like they were in good shape, and now they find themselves down by 5-4. I know our score says 4-4 on our, I think the score is 5-4, Tim, I believe. That 5th run just scored. We'll check with the official scorekeeper maybe in a moment to confirm that, but I think it's 5-4.
yeah, it should be.
Pop up, second baseman, and will finally make the catch. That's Veronica Ingold. And the inning finally comes to an end on the pop-up by Madeline Rhodes, the batting for the second time in the first inning. So let's try to count this up if we can. They get 5 runs, do the Hawks. They come up with 1, 2, 3, 4 base hits. There were 3 errors, and 2 runners were left on base. So we now played 1 full inning, and it seems like, Carol, we played about 7 innings,
Yeah.
but just 1 inning, and the score is 5-4.
Is there a darkness rule?
I'm going to walk over, take my headset off 1 second, Carol. If you'll maintain, I'll check our score to make sure we're right with the official
I
scorekeeper.
will do that. I will protect it like it was my life. Were we right? I think we were right, right? 5-4?
Yep, I'm putting my headset back on, and yes, we were right on.
Right on.
As Ed McMahon used to say to Johnny Carson, right you are, sir. I say young people again would say,
They don't know.
Ed who?
Johnny who?
Johnny who? Right you are. So yeah, 5-4 is the score at the end of the first inning of play. And Carol, I don't
maybe
think,
both pitchers will settle down now.
well, we don't have lights here, and so darkness could intervene if we have more innings like we just had.
Line up the cars.
What time is it?
Line up the cars around the outfield fence and let them play.
The physical time, that inning took about a half hour to play.
Yeah.
So now the leadoff hitter coming up again for C. Milton Wright in the second inning. That's not often you see that happen. Kendra Miller, who walked and scored back in the first inning. Carol, good reaction.
Yeah, maybe.
You still got it. Tip foul. Yep, that score is correct. It's not a typo, and we're in the second inning. 5-4. Pitcher Maggie Mullen, who gave up those 4 runs back in the first inning, 2 of which were earned.
In truth, a couple of them were unearned.
Yeah, they were. Exactly. And both pitchers
Both
deserved
pitchers.
a better fate.
Yeah, and I think now maybe both pitchers will settle in too. I would think. I don't know, but that's, as a coach, that's what you hope. Get that first inning out of the way.
Kendra Miller, freshman, up high.
2-1.
Carol, she just doesn't look like a freshman, neither in size and physique, nor in her attitude.
No, she's in control.
Nice young lady. Had a chance to talk to her before the game and
The ball.
loves the game of softball. I say, do you play anything else? She said, no,
2-2.
but I play softball year round.
Ah,
You see that quite often. You don't see many people who are do 2 or maybe 3 sports. At least not the really good ones, because of the way, you keep playing all year long, you get better and better.
yeah.
Swung on the miss. Down she goes. Big strikeout by Mullen to start this second inning. By the way, Maddie Nimmo, who is on the C. Milton Wright bench, is that outstanding all-county, all-conference, all-everything basketball player I said, why are you playing softball? She said, oh, just something to do, something to keep busy. Looking forward to going to Lynchburg College in the fall, play D3 basketball. Veronica Ingold, Veronica got a single. That was that little squibber that went right over the pitcher's head and sort of screwed itself into the ground, you might remember.
Yeah.
Carol, did you get a chance to see Miss Maddie Nemo play at all?
No.
She is, I told her, one of the most outstanding basketball players I've ever seen, and that goes back, Carol, to your day, back in the 1980s?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Back in the late 50s all the way up. She just has so control, only about 5'2" or 5'3".
Yeah.
But she
Not
can
very
shoot, pass, off the end of the bat.
Ball.
Ingold, a .333 hitter. And the seniors on the C. Milton Wright team. Mustangs down by a run here in the top of the second inning. Hard to say, you had a 4-0 lead. Now you're down 5-4. Pop up, back.
Save the truck.
10 years ago, I would have made a run for that ball.
I know.
2-2.
I have wised up since those days, Carol.
Gotten a lot smarter, haven't you?
No, just a lot slower. Beautiful field here at North Harford. Down low.
Hotel.
Notice the young lady that they put in charge of going to get the softball took a rake with her because the field does drop off
Yeah.
into a gully back there. So now they're sending 2 more young ladies to try to find that precious softball. Swung on and missed.
Nice pitch.
Carol, you said it.
Moving
She has
moving on low and moving inside.
Maggie Mullen has settled down and gotten 2 strikes against the first and second hitter in the C. Milton Wright lineup. Now here's the challenge, Williford, Caitlin Williford, who got on an error in the first inning. Big hitter for C. Milton Wright. How big? .559 batting average. Pop foul right off the hands.
Why she's batting third. Get her up to bat as often as you can.
6 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs. We mentioned she was 5 for 5 against Joppatown and hit for the cycle. Single, double, triple, home run. Ground ball into the hole. There's a base hit. Nice dive for it by
Yeah,
Marks, but it goes through.
Shortstop made a nice try for it.
So that keeps the inning alive for the cleanup hitter, Noelle Beavers, the freshman catcher. So you catch as a freshman and you bat cleanup as a freshman.
Sit down.
That's pretty good.
That's not
They
bad.
expect big things of you as the years progress.
.303 hitter, 4 doubles, a triple. Up high. Nicole Beavers got a single first time up, drove in a run.
Ah!
Nice
Right
pitch.
across the letters.
Yeah,
One.
nice high strike. Again, you're not going to do much with that pitch.
Dunaway, Marks, Buckland, and Salzer around that infield. Swung on and missed. Took something off of it that time, Carol.
Yeah.
1-2.
Yep, a little bit of a wrinkle on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first. We're in the top of the second inning. Just high.
2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. I'd like to call a shout out to our director, Dennis Cassidy, playing hurt today. Has a back that is really giving him some difficulty. Said his pain level right now is a 10.
Oh, wow. That's not fun.
Pop up. I got it, I don't got it.
I don't want it.
Count stays at 2.
Without my glove, I don't want it.
Dennis doing a great job. Dennis says he's got to get better, though, because he's playing in the Charlie Riley golf tournament coming next Friday.
You
week of the day.
You golfers, I tell you, you do anything.
He tells me that he golfs better with a bad back because it restricts his swing and he doesn't overswing.
Oh, there you go. Well, that makes sense.
Now he's young. Youth allows that to happen.
Tail.
I'd be in bed for a week calling for a nurse. Help. Down low, ball 4. Catcher hustling, going down to third base. Here's the throw to third base. She is going to be safe is the call. Boy, that was a brave move by Williford.
Yeah.
She gets all the way down to third base on that little short pass ball. Going down to second base on the throw is Beaver, so runners at second and third. We give Williford credit. She didn't break stride at all.
No. As soon as she saw that ball had gotten away, she was going.
Jenna Tresac retrieved it quickly through to third base.
Yeah.
Just a bit too late.
Good play, but
Hargis, ground ball, shortstop. Picked up by the shortstop. Throw to first base. Nice play. That's Tanya Marks, to Abigail Salzer. Third out of the inning. Ball was hit well, Carol.
yes, it was. Yep. Yep. She got it good. Sort of like the Orioles. They've been hitting hard balls right at them.
Atom ball.
The old Atom ball. Yeah.
No runs, a hit, no errors. 2 runners are left on base. We played an inning and a half with North Harford leading by 5-4. Again, Carol, that hit there is typical of baseball or softball. We hit the ball hard, and you got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
You look at some of the hits that we've got today. That one that went just over the pitcher's head and sort of screwed itself into the ground, and that's a base hit.
That's a base hit, and that's not. Yep. It's a strange game.
It is a
Why?
strange game.
That's why I love it. That's why I think it's the most. I've coached just about, as you know, about every sport that girls can play. And I've watched soccer because I had a niece that played soccer and was very good at it, and a pastor's daughter who was very good at it. So I've watched some soccer, and I still think this is the toughest game. This and baseball are the toughest games to play.
Have to call.
And play at an elite level.
Excuse me, Carol. Have to call the name there. Warming up the pitcher was Maddie Nemo, the basketball player who's, she admits, hey, I'm not a softball player. I'm a basketball player, but I love my teammates. I made friendships here. None of the other players on the team play basketball. So she's with a whole new group of people.
Whole new group. Yeah, that's great.
It is.
Good for her.
Here we go now to the bottom of the second inning, if you can believe it. 5-4 the score. Tanya Marks is the leadoff hitter. Marks, who got a single back in the first inning, stole second base and ended up scoring. First of the 5 runs that North Harford scored in that bottom of the first. Pitcher Kara Hoover had control issues back in the first. And
Yeah, we'll see if she settles in like the Hawk pitcher did, like Maggie did.
Tanya Marks, a .451 hitter, 4 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs.
That was a nice strike too.
Marks is the young lady who made that play at shortstop. Made it look easy, Carol.
Yeah.
Picked it up, threw it to first base. No muss, no fuss. Third out of the inning. Foul back to the right. Carol, you can go get that one. It went into a pond.
Go to the crocodile swamp?
Yeah, a pond over there, and I'm not sure if that pond is a catchment pond for. I'm not sure. I'm not making comment, but notice nobody's running to get that ball.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Oh, she swings. Boy, fooled on the pitch. Marks wanted that one. You could see she's a bit embarrassed by that swing.
Yeah.
A smile on her face.
She got fooled too.
Yes, she did. Nice change up.
Yeah.
There's another change up high and outside. Tanya, one of the seniors on this team, and again, senior day at North Harford. They were all honored before the game. Their parents here, and grandparents. Down low, ball 4. So leading off with that walk is Marks, and now batting is Mackenzie Dunaway, the sophomore third baseman and number 3 hitter in the lineup for North Harford. She got a single in the right field last time. Scored a run.
Yeah. Yep. They had a good first inning, that's for sure.
Pass ball. Actually a wild pitch in the dirt. Remember we mentioned, Carol, that 18 walks in that one game, and Jim French and Jeff Dwyer said, yeah, that's the problem. Just walks. You can't do anything as an infielder.
Yeah.
Ball.
Well, outside.
Put that many free runners on, you're going to get hurt.
Runners at second and third.
No, just second.
Just second. Yeah, I thought there was. That's actually the third baseman. There's only been one batter up.
That's the coach over there.
Yeah. But he's got a different color.
She
She's got a different color uniform.
She looks so young, she could be a player.
You know, good point. Talking to, she'll like you saying that. Christine Mullen, the head coach, retired from the state police. Ball down low, ball four. Now there's 2 runners on. I thanked her for her service. I mean, you know, you think about being a state policeman.
Yeah,
Thankless job in many cases.
absolutely. Especially in today's world.
2 up, 2 walks. Runners on at first and second.
Seems like everybody's looking for them to make a mistake and then jump on it.
Morgan Buckland now, the senior center fielder.
Ball.
Up high.
A little bit high.
Buckland popped up to the shortstop her first time up.
Ball.
Down low. Ball 2. If you're Jim, Jim French calls timeout, he's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Unfortunately, if you're Jim French, you don't have many options because they don't have like a second pitcher they can bring in who will, you know, bail them out.
I've been there.
Yeah, you
Had that happen a couple times.
You don't got a pitcher, you don't got a team. That's basically
That's
what it
right.
amounts to.
On the roster, it looks like Williford is listed as a pitcher, but
You know,
as the third position.
yeah.
Well, Kara Hoover is also. So, but obviously, this young lady does the bulk of it.
Yeah, she does. And, you know, it's one of those things where you can't blame her or criticize her. She does the best she can.
Nope, that's right.
Just you're in a situation where you're not a school pitcher. Well, down low.
That was a nice pitch.
Yeah, it was. Morgan Buckland, the captain, senior, 213 hitter. Down low, ball 4. 3 up, 3 walks, bases are loaded. Marks at third, Dunaway at second, Buckland at first base. Should have mentioned that Morgan Buckland, by the way, is a 4.0 GPA student who was the Seskey nominee this year.
Oh, wow.
Headed for Harford Community College, wants to go into nursing.
Good for her.
Brings up Alexis Trezak. Alexis, the older sister of catcher Jenna Trezak. Alexis, a junior, got a single, scored a run back in the first. Bases loaded, nobody out. Up high.
2-0.
You just have to feel for Kara Hoover, you know, and you'd like to go put your arms around her and say, you know, relax.
Yeah.
It's a lonely spot out there in that circle.
3-0.
If he goes out again, I'm not familiar with the newest rules. Does he have to take her out?
You know, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I would assume 2 trips to the mound in the same inning. It is in baseball. You would assume it's in softball. And the RBI walk on 4 pitches.
No outs now. Minutes right.
6th run of the game comes in the person of Tanya Marks. Dunaway to third, Buckland to second. Alexis Trezak to first base. Brings up Maggie Mullen, the opposite number pitcher. Mullen, who walked.
Ball.
Walked and scored back in the first. A 271 hitter is Maggie Mullen. There's a strike.
1-1.
Kara Hoover is just a sophomore, a 3.7 GPA student, and doing her very best.
2-1.
Yeah. If she sticks with it and gets good coaching, she'll get better. Have some growing pains here.
Yeah. Up high.
I mean, in all truth, I don't know what, but Mr. French said they can't get the players to come out, but really, these 9th and 10th graders should be playing JV, and getting the experience there.
There's a pop-up moving right fielder. Makes the catch. That's a nice catch in right. Here comes the play to the plate. Nope. She scores on the sac fly.
Yeah.
Nice job tagging up was Mackenzie Dunaway, scoring the run on the sac fly. Boy, nice catch there by outfielder Savannah Horn.
Yep.
Hung right with it, got the out. So 1 out. Runners move up to third base, and the other runner stays at first. So first and third with Abigail Salzer, the batter. Now she's down at second base on the, they call that defensive indifference. I don't care. Go ahead and take the base.
Right.
I call it a stolen base. So we got runners at second and third. Salter got a single back in the first inning and an RBI and scored a run.
1-1.
As you see, 5 runs back in the first and now 2 runs here in the second. And just a little bit low.
Yeah.
Chuck Green,
She's just missing her release point, just a little.
Chuck Green, the plate umpire, looked like he wanted to call that a strike.
Just a little bit.
Kind of an emergency swing.
Yeah. Yeah, she was just protecting the plate.
2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third. 2 runs in here in the bottom of the second inning. Up high.
I don't know if this is because it's senior day or because of nice weather, but they've got a nice crowd here for both teams.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I mean, the cost of admission was right.
Yeah.
Ball 4 loads the bases up. Fifth walk of this inning. Bases loaded. Buckland at third. Trezak on at second base, and now on at first is Abigail Salzer, bringing up Jenna Trezak, the freshman catcher. Jenna got a single to right field and an RBI. Slicing, just foul. Look out! Oh, just over. Is that Tom on the camera down there? Notice he didn't flinch. Huh? He hung right in there.
Hung in there, huh?
He did.
I can't see it. He's right in my, out of my line of sight.
Yeah. 1 strike now. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jenna, 182 hitter, has a double on the year. Plays for the Churchville Lightning in the off season. Another line drive in the right field, another foul. That's Tom again. Notice that Tom, he is a true professional. He stays there to get the shot.
Stays there to get the shot.
Yeah. One way or the other to get the shot.
1-2.
Line drive, fire, fair to right field, base hit, scores a run. Here comes the second run in, and she will score going down to third base on that 2-run RBI single by Jenna Trezak.
Nice hit.
Yes, it was. Line shot. Going down to third base on the play, well, I should say the 2 runners scoring are Buckland and Trezak. Alexis Trezak going down to third base is Salzer. 2 RBIs there. That's 3 RBIs for Jenna Trezak. She's got 2 base hits in 2 times up. Brings up the number 9 hitter in the order, Brianna Billings.
Mariah Messick is a courtesy runner.
For the catcher, it's a speed up rule. Going down to second base. The question was, are there any outs? Yes, there was a sac fly into right field.
Yeah.
That was the only out of this inning so far. One out, runners at second and third.
She needs a strikeout here.
Strike on the inside corner. Number 9 hitter, yeah, this is the one you can't let it get away. Reached on an error back in that first inning on that low throw from shortstop. Pop up, first baseman looking, out of play. Down the hill it goes toward that pond. One out. Runners at second and third, as you see, a 9-4 ball game. See Milton Wright jumped ahead 4-0 in the top of the first. North Harford came back with 5 in their half of the first, and now they've got 4 here in the second. Up high and outside. You got to be impressed with Noelle Beavers, the freshman catcher for C. Milton Wright.
Yeah, she's doing a nice job. Very nice. Moving well. Blocking balls.
Ground ball, base hit into left field. 1 run scores. Throw into third base. A bit of a wide throw, and the runner goes down to second base on the throw. So Billings with a RBI base hit into left field. Goes to second on the throw in. Scoring from third base was Salter. And going down to third base was the courtesy runner. That's Messick, you said, is the courtesy runner?
Mariah Messick, yeah.
And now the leadoff hitter batting for the 3rd time in 2 innings. How often does that happen, Carol?
In fast pitch, I don't think it happens very often.
Swung on and missed.
That was a nice pitch.
Madeline Rhodes, a senior designated player, 0 for 2, grounded out back in the first inning on that 3-0 pitch, and then popped up to the second baseman to end the first inning. Batted twice in that first.
2-1.
Strike on the outside corner.
2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third. Five runs in here in the bottom of the second inning.
That didn't miss by much. It was moving.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
Started out as a strike and then ended up as a ball.
Ball 4 outside. Bases are loaded again. Carol, that's 6 walks.
Is that better? Thank you. Sorry about that.
You didn't hear the conversation going on between Tim and Carol, but Carol follows directions. Did you notice that? Little pop-up first baseman. Doesn't make the play. Couldn't get turned around to make the play was Hargis.
Yeah.
Tanya Marks, who led off this second inning with a walk and scored.
See, Milton Wright pitcher would like to have had that out.
Yes. Ground ball, shortstop, moving, making the throw to the plate for the out, and the throw back to third base. Got a tagger. Yep, the third baseman says, the umpire says you are out. It is a double play from 6 to 2 to 5.
Beautiful.
It was
Well
that.
played.
That'll bring to an end, finally, this bottom of the second inning. What a nice play by Beavers. First of all, the freshman shortstop, Kendra Miller, made the pickup, quick throw to the plate for the force out, through to April Martin at third base. And remember, Martin had to tag her, no longer a force out. And she did that, and the out was called. That's the way to play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes a replay. You'll watch this. You watch how the ground ball is hit to the shortstop. Miller making the throw home. That's a force out. The throw back to third base. And that's a tag. Nice job, guys.
beautifully. Well played.
You know, these are Harford TV guys. They should be hired. They're like professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Here you'll see it again. See the ground ball from a different angle. That's how great play Beavers make. She gets the tag, the out at home, and then the tag made at third base.
And she made a good throw to third, too.
She did that. April Martin with the tag.
Without that, it doesn't happen.
So now you want me to count up the runs, hits, and errors, and then don't you?
Yep, sure.
5 runs on 1, 2, on just 2 base hits. There were 6 walks, no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. We have played 2 full innings, if you can believe it. 10-4 is the score. It's not a code. I'm not saying I understand 10-4. It's the score 10-4.
10-4.
You got it. Now we know there is a 10-run quote-unquote mercy rule after 5 innings, but is there a darkness rule? No, I don't think so.
Well, I think it becomes the discretion of the umpire, right?
I would think, yeah.
Like raining day.
And we have plenty of time because the game started at 3:30. So,
Yeah.
Carol, where else would you like to be?
Yeah, that's right.
I am Tim. Tim tells us off air that those softballs glow in the dark. I think he's making that up, isn't he?
I don't know. We got the ladies' team got two different balls, and one of them is plastic, and they said it's easier to see.
Ah.
Go figure. I don't know.
Here comes Milton right now in the top of the 3rd inning. They'll send up Jenna Dwyer, the center fielder. Jenna, who walked, got an RBI walk back in that 1st inning. 226 batter on the year. Foul ball off to the right side.
Headed to the swamp.
Into the, please, that's a pond, Carol.
Oh, excuse me.
Do not disparage the North Harford pond. Okay, there are things in there that I don't want to battle, or but it is a pond.
I don't want them swimming around my feetsies.
I talked to Jenna Dwyer before the game. I said, your dad is assistant coach, and you come home from practice, swung on the mist, down she goes. And she said, yeah, he's still coaching, so it's dinner time, and he's coaching. She didn't seem to mind it.
Yeah. She's grown up with it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Jenna A. Jr., fans. That'll bring up Savannah Horn. Savannah, the right fielder. Savannah fanned back in the 1st inning. Strike. Savannah Horn, one of the freshmen on this team. Swung on the miss. Savannah was originally scheduled to be the flex player, and if you aren't familiar with the terminology, it means that she was playing in the field, but she was going to be batted 4. But there was a switch in the lineup late, and she now is a right fielder and a hitter as well. Down low. Both these young catchers, Jenna Trezak for North Harford, if you're watching her play, a low pitch, there's nobody on base, but she still gets down and blocks it. Very impressive.
Yeah. Coach well.
Fouled off to the left side.
We're losing softballs here like crazy.
Tim Larimore has made his appearance. Tim, the athletic director. Tim, who is retiring this year. Tim, come over here. I want to ask you a question. Tim Larimore, the baseball coach.
How are you? Good to see you.
Tim, 29 years, 31 years coaching baseball. 31 years or 29 coaching baseball? 31 years. And you're retiring this year, and you're what, 35 years old? You're retiring?
I just turned 35.
Just turned 35. Tim has a habit of not telling the truth from time to time.
Well, stretching.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Hey, Tim, thanks so much. This field is beautiful. Thanks for your hospitality. Always great to be in North Harford. You guys treat us like we're family, which we like. Although my family doesn't treat me like Tim treats me, so maybe I should say, there's a walk, ball 4. Good seeing you, Tim. Yeah, Tim, after 31 years of coaching baseball, has over 300 wins. He's lost track of how many he has. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's great.
One of the really good guys in teaching. Also teaches social studies, Carol, which makes you and me very happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Being old social studies
I
teachers.
want to say he did his student teaching with me at Edgewood. Not with me, but with one of our, I think he did. I'm not sure.
Carol Hoover now the batter. So he's retiring, and he did his student teaching with you or with somebody at your school.
Yeah, not.
And you've been retired for how many years?
Oh,
I don't want to say anything, Carol, but well, let me tell you a story that happened to me. I was outside a store the other day. As soon as this pitch comes in, how dare them interrupt the game with my talk. Anyhow, a guy comes up to me and says, "You did my game." He was an older gentleman. I said, "Really?" "Yeah." He's a grandfather. I did his game back in 1995. He was telling me about his grandkids. Gosh.
that's when you're supposed to retire, Don.
Back to the pitcher. Throw to second base for the out. Well done. Throw to first base. It is a double play.
Double play.
From
Yeah,
one,
good.
the pitcher Mullen, to 6, the shortstop Marks, to first baseman Abigail Salter. 1 to 6 to 3. It is a double play.
That's a lovely. That's the pitcher's best friend.
Well done. And Kel, as a player, you know you've got to say to yourself, what do I do? Here you'll see the replay. Watch how she catches this ball, and in one motion, bing, she has it. Second base for the out. Look at the turn that Marks makes at shortstop. So well done.
And both excellent throws.
Yes, they were. Tanya Marks, the shortstop, who turned that beautifully. So no runs in the inning, on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 2.5 with the score, as you see, 4 for C. Milton Wright, 10 for the score. Looks like we have a change coming in. Nobody will tell us, but maybe we can pick up on it, Carol.
Yeah.
We know that C. Milton Wright is making a change. Let me call to Jim. Jim? What's the change, Jim? 11 for 22? It's 11 for 22.
Nemo going in. I don't have a 22 on their roster.
Oh, Nemo for Horn, okay. Going into right field, it's going to be the young lady we talked about, Maddie Nemo, going into right field in place of Samantha Horn.
Right. Okay. She's 26. Was
Yeah.
26. On our.
Yeah, my lip reading skills have diminished over the years. So now we go to the bottom of the third inning, if you can believe it. And in the third time batting will be the number 3 hitter. Threes are wild. Mackenzie Dunaway. Mackenzie, a sophomore, 2 times up. She's walked and scored and got a single back in the first inning and scored. Mackenzie Dunaway.
That side.
2 balls and no strikes. Kel, you were on camera there just a moment ago from our center field camera. Looking sharp as always.
Oh, was I? Okay.
Yeah. There's some guy standing.
I was paying attention, right?
Some guy standing beside you. I don't know who. Oh, yeah, that's me.
I've got a net flying around me. I can tell you that. He's going to get, hopefully, pay the price here in a minute.
He's coming from that pond you were talking about
Yeah.
a moment ago.
I guess so.
You were disparaging the North Harford pond, and
He's decided to attack.
yeah, on that outside corner.
That was a pitcher's pitch.
Yeah. And
Hitter-
I like how Marks took the pitch, though. She didn't swing at it.
Oh, stop.
You're after that gnat. That gnat is now in your microphone. No, it doesn't help hitting your microphone. I hate to
know,
tell
I'm
you.
sorry.
It's a ground ball to shortstop, the throw to first, and she is safe at first
Yeah,
base,
she hustled.
beating it out. I said Marks. It was actually Mackenzie Dunaway with the base hit.
Yeah, she was hustling.
Nice play by the shortstop, Miller,
Yeah,
but
you can't play it any better.
yeah.
She just outran the ball.
the only thing you can do in that is just charge, more rapidly and make the throw. She did everything she could, and the base hit for Dunaway, bringing up Buckland, Morgan Buckland, the center fielder. Morgan is 0 for 1. She popped up back in the first, reached on a walk, and scored in that second inning. And as we said, we are just in the third inning, bottom of the third. 10-4 is the score. Up high. Noel Beavers, the catcher who also plays field hockey, and a 3.7 GPA student, Carol. Student athlete. Pop up going into right field. It's going to off the second baseman's glove. Ingold, and the ball is safe. It would have been a good play, but maybe one that Ingold could have made.
She looked like she hesitated for a second, and that cost her, I think.
Yeah. So reaching first base safely on the air is Buckland. Runners on at first and second, nobody out. Bringing up Alexis Trezek. Alexis, the junior left fielder. Singled in the first and scored, walked in the second and scored. Martin, Miller, Ingold, and Hodges around the infield. Williford, Dwyer, and now Maddie Nemo in right field. Catcher Noel Beavers. Throw down to third. Nope, no throw. Good job blocking it by Beavers, but by the time she got to the ball, Carol, probably a wise decision not to throw.
Oh yeah, she didn't have a play. No, the girl at second got a really good jump.
That would be Dunaway, who beat out that ground ball earlier.
Yeah, she's obviously very fast.
Down to third, Buckland at second. Second and third, nobody out. Carol, at this rate, my scorebook has 9 innings in it. I'm going to run out of space. We're in the third inning, and already we're going the third time through the order.
3-1.
Alexis Trezek, a 289 batter on the year.
That's why you need to get a scorebook that has like 12 innings in it or something.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay for one like it's too expensive. I mean, I'm looking for. I went to the dollar store to get this one. Speaking of dollar stores, boy, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the
It's like the pharmacies. They're on every corner.
like the Ma and Pa. There's a line shot. Buckland with the catch at second base. Hey, check me. Ingold with that catch. Boy, wow. We criticized her last time. She made a great catch that time.
That's a wonderful catch. Yep.
So put a star beside that one.
She made a nice play on that, and she kept her head about her, looking right at that third base runner.
Veronica Ingold, a senior headed for the University of Maryland next year. One out now. Runners hang on at second and third. Down low. One game left for each team, Carol, in the regular season, then they head into the playoffs. North Harford, if they win today and can win Monday against Aberdeen, will finish at 9-9, 500 finish. 3 balls, no strikes. Now, Jim French, in his 9 years as head coach at North Harford, ball skips away and the run will score. Ball is dead and the run will score. That means that they allow them one base. The runner goes down to first base. The runner comes in from third. That's Dunaway. Going down to third base and holding on is Buckland on at first base on the walk. Is Maggie Mullen. Abigail Saltzer now batting. Mullen, who had a sac fly and RBI back in the second inning, also walked in the first, so she's got an RBI and a
Ava
run.
Weimer going in to pinch run.
Who was that again?
Ava Weimer, number 13.
Going in as the courtesy runner.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with that rule, the catcher and the pitcher, you can take them out. You don't have to. At no penalty, they can come right back in and play in the next inning. Going down with the defensive indifference or stolen base. I choose to call it stolen base. Salter, a 286 hitter. A double, 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Ground ball, second base. Moving on it is Ingold. Throw to first base for the out. The run scores on the RBI. Moving down to third base and holding on.
So that's 2 away, right?
2 down now. That line drive, both outs recorded by Ingold. The first one a line drive catch, and this time a ground out. So another RBI for Salter and another run scoring for North Harford. They're now up by 12-4. Start thinking about that mercy rule or the slaughter rule, whatever you want to call it. It's 10 runs and the team that's behind has to bat 5 times. So if we're in the third inning, ground ball, shortstop, moving on to Miller. Scoop, throw, good play. Nice play by Kendra
Very
Miller.
nice. Very nice.
Scooped in one hand, transferred the ball, made the throw to first base for the out. Run doesn't score there, so they get 2 runs. To the Hawks, 2 runs on 1 base hit. There was 1 error, and there was 1 runner left on base. We have now played 3 full innings with the score 12-4, as you see. You look at let's watch this replay. Watch how Miller scoops the ball one-handed with her left hand. Makes a nice throw.
She's played a solid shortstop.
We didn't used to teach that, scooping with one hand, but now it's a new format where they scoop the ball and makes the exchange. You'll see that quite a bit more. I was watching the third baseman for the Orioles. Help me with his name.
Oh, Ripken?
No, Urias, the new third baseman now.
Ramon Urias?
Yeah, everything he throws on the run. You know, as a coach and as an old school, we would never teach that. Always set your feet, make the throw.
Yeah.
But he seems to be so accurate, throwing the ball on the run. We were taught to do that only, when you really had to.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Here come all the balls that went into the swamp.
No, not in the swamp. Those are clean new balls.
Oh.
Yes. I hope. That's Chuck Buckland, who you may have seen on your screen coming in, giving the umpire nice clean balls. Now again, whether they came out of the pond, not swamp, because I don't want that gnat that was bugging you coming after me.
Oh, okay.
So anyhow.
Sorry, North Harford. I apologize.
The umpire got a whole new set of softballs, so we're now ready to go. We go to the top of the 4th inning. April Martin, the third baseman, coming up, is the number 9 hitter in the order to lead off for C. Milton Wright in this top of the 4th inning. Maggie Mullen, after a very rocky start, Carol, you said it, she has settled down.
Yeah, she's settled in very nicely.
Of course, remember, she started that beautiful double play last inning, the ground ball back to her, throwing it to the shortstop Marks and the throw to first base Salter. 4.68 ERA on the year, 48 strikeouts and 67 innings coming in. 2 balls, no strikes. Maggie Mullen, a senior, headed for Bluefield State next year in West Virginia. That's D2 softball. Carol, I went down to Bluefield when Cal was a rookie.
Yeah.
He got sent there in 1978.
Right.
The right field at Bluefield was like a mountain. You know, if you hit it to right field, it was the right fielder had a problem fielding it. That was the Orioles rookie league team back in the day.
Yeah. A lot of them started right there.
Cal went from Bluefield to Miami and then to Charlotte, which was the Oriole Double-A team at the time, and then Rochester. Then I understand, I heard this as a rumor, he did pretty well when he got to the major leagues.
I think he did okay.
Yeah. Something about he played like a lot of games in a row.
Yeah.
Something. 2,632, something like that. Ground ball third base, nice scoop. Throw to first base. Dunaway over to Salter. Nice play by Dunaway.
Yep.
Well, that's when you got to be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they call it the hot corner.
I've heard that. Brooks Robinson.
You better be alert.
Brooks, who claimed that Brooks had no muscles in his body, he was soft, so anything that hit Brooks just dropped right at his feet. That was a Brooks story he told about himself.
Yeah.
Kendra Miller, the freshman shortstop. Kendra walked and struck out. Nicole Beavers, their freshman catcher. Kendra Miller, their freshman shortstop. You know, there are good things ahead for C. Milton Wright if they can fill in some of the gaps.
Right, yeah.
I was told by Jim French, the coach for C. Milton Wright, that Nicole Knight actually lives in the C. Milton Wright district, but her mother teaches at Patterson Mill, so they get a boundary exception. Now, I'm blaming this on Jim French if that information is incorrect. So this team with Nicole, with Naomi, Nicole, with Madison Knight, I'll get it right eventually, pitching for them would be an entirely different team.
Yeah. This game is a pitcher's game.
Yep. Pop up, second baseman moving, right fielder coming.
It's the right fielder's
and
ball.
the catch for the right fielder, that's Brianna Billings. You saw the sun glistening in her sunglasses. That sun is now right over the third base bag. Good job by Billings to hang in there and make that catch. 2 up and 2 down. Bring up the number 2 hitter, that's Ingold. Remember, Ingold had that little squibber base hit over the pitcher's head back in the first inning.
Oh, yeah. Dug a divot.
Ended up scoring.
For you golfers, that dug a divot in the dirt.
Fanned in the second inning, so C. Milton Wright scored all 4 of their runs in that first inning. They took a 4-0 lead. That's the good news. The bad news is North Harford didn't let that lead stand. And Carol, I talked to you about that, and you said if you were the coach for North Harford, Christine Mullen, just tell your team you've got 7 at-bats coming, you're down 4-0, you know. And that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, it's way too early to get upset. Just settle in and play softball the way you know you've been doing it all your life.
333 hitter is Veronica Ingold. Second baseman headed for University of Maryland next year. Swung on and missed. And down she goes, and that's the 3rd out of this 4th inning. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played now 3.5 innings with that 12-4 lead. But Carol, you're right. This game has really settled down. If you're North Harford, she has allowed. She being Maggie Mullen, we're talking about, has allowed 1 hit in the last 3 innings. Got that double play ball. She allowed 2 walks in that last inning. The double play ball wiped out that 1 walk.
Yeah. Yeah, she showed why she's the senior and why her coach has faith in her.
Yeah, Mullen 5-5 on the year. The Hawks are 7-9 as a team, so a win today for Mullen would put her above the 500 mark. Go down to the bottom of the 4th inning as Brianna Billings will lead off her 3rd time at bat. I just like everything about the freshman combination of Nicole Beavers, the catcher, and Kendra Miller, the shortstop. If you're C. Milton Wright and you're looking for cornerstones to build a team around,
yeah,
those 2 young ladies are not only good softball players, but they're very active. They know the game, they love the game, and they're going to get nothing but better. Umpire talking to Christine Mullen. Don't know what that's all about. Chuck Green, the plate umpire. Jeff Dwyer is joining the conversation. Jeff Dwyer, the assistant coach for C. Milton Wright. Looks like there might be a lineup discrepancy.
Well, they got the score books out there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Hitter.
Whatever it was, Chuck Green says it's all okay. Let's play.
Batter up.
That'll be Brianna Billings, one of the freshmen for North Harford. Billings, the right fielder, reached on an error, got a single last time up and an RBI. Nicole Beavers is going to be a tired young lady.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Well, say great minds. I think
She
she's
has
going to be
Ground
very
ball
happy
back
to.
through the mound. Great stop and a throw to first base. No throw. Base hit, beating it out. Billings got out of the box.
Better to hold that ball.
Well, it was a nice stop by Miller.
Yes, it was. That was headed to center field.
And it's another great decision. When she looked up, she knew she had no play.
Yeah.
We give Brianna Billings a lot of credit. She was out of the box hustling all the way. Now this looks like a new player in. When it goes down to second base, the throw, she's going to be safe. The ball gets by, but she does not run.
This is Abigail Buckland, according to the number we
Yeah.
have.
Abigail Buckland, who is the second baseman, now is replacing the DP, Madeline Rhodes. So now Rhodes is out of the game, and Buckland, who was the flex player, meaning that there's the bunt. Beautiful bunt down the third base line. Throw to first base, and the out is recorded. A nice play by April Martin. Down to third base on the sack.
Oh, yeah, he called her safe, I think.
Called her safe at first. See, I should let the umpire call it. It looked like, from my angle, looked like she was out. Well, it's a bunt base hit, not a sack. So the base hit there by Abigail Buckland, showing the benefit
Runners
of being.
at first and third now.
Yeah. Looks like they're letting the Buckland now.
I'm like for this in the last inning, the third, right? Okay, so they started out.
Yeah, they started out with their leadoff hitter.
So they started out top of the order, right?
Billings. Billings got a single. As she started, Billings had a single.
Okay, number 10 starts.
Yep. Yep. Jeff Dwyer checking the scorebook. Pop foul out of play. Tanya Marks, the batter.
1-1.
Runners at second and third.
Ball 4.
Tanya Marks, who now has been up 3 times. Last time up, she hit into that double play. Went from the shortstop to the catcher to the third baseman. You'll remember that. That ended the second inning.
Very, very well played.
Singled, walked, and hit into the double play.
By C. Milton's team.
Kendra Miller to Nicole Beavers, that freshman to freshman.
Whoa.
Up high. Here comes the runner in from the. She is going to be out at the plate. Great play by Beavers, as she didn't hesitate at all. Got the ball at the backstop, dove and made the tag, and out at the plate is Billings.
That was close.
Boy, that's a great play.
Closer than I thought it was going to be.
So 2 unassisted for the out. Here's a replay. You'll get to call it yourself. Line shot into center field. Moving center fielder. Great catch by the center fielder. That was Jenna Dwyer who made that catch. Boy, that ball looks like they say 106 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, that was one of the better hits of the day, and she got nothing to show for it.
Great play by center fielder
Not even
Jenna
a
Dwyer.
sacrifice fly.
Yeah, because the runner at third base was sort of, stagnated out there.
Yeah.
2 outs now. Dunaway up. Hopefully we'll get a chance to show you that replay here while Beavers made the great tag at the plate. Yeah, you'll just have to take our word for us. You can rewind the tape and do your own replay, Carol. You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I can't, but probably you can. Up high. Mackenzie Dunaway, this is her 4th time up. We're only in the 4th inning. Single, walk, single. 2 for 2, scored 3 runs.
She's had a good day.
She has that. just a sophomore. Ground ball
Nice hit.
through the third base hole for the base hit and the RBI. She's now got 3 base hits for the day. Single in left field, RBI. Scoring from third base
Morgan
was
Buckland coming up.
Abigail Buckland, who scored from third base.
Now here's the other Buckland batting.
The other Buckland, known as Morgan Buckland,
Right.
the center fielder. Morgan, the senior. Abigail, the junior,
Junior.
here at North Harford. Line drive, that's
Nice
going to
hit.
get in for the base hit.
Nice hit.
Morgan Buckland gets her first base hit of the game. She's reached on an error and walked. Going down to second base was Dunaway. On at first base is Buckland, bringing up Alexis Trezak. Alexis has a hit, a walk, and a line drive. Excellent play, you remember, by Veronica Ingold last time up. Down to third base, the throw, she is safe at third, getting in under the tag. Beavers a nice job coming up with it, throwing to Martin, but nice slide there at third base, getting in safely was Dunaway.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, you talked about the speed of Dunaway.
Yeah.
Buckland at second base.
That's something you really can't teach.
Strike is called.
1-1.
Trezak with that little run-up deal that left-handed hitters are like to do. I think this is not Trezak now. This might be a pinch batter that we weren't told about. This looks like Carmen Santoro. Ground ball to second. She beats it out for the base hit. So that's Santoro, not Trezak.
Right.
We're not always told of the changes, so pardon me if we don't see those right away. Single to second base and the RBI. Scoring is Dunaway. Second run of this inning. Make it now 14-4. That is if you're keeping track, a 10-run lead, but I will say Patterson Mills, Milton Wright would have to bat in their half of the fifth inning
Right.
and not score if the score remains as it is. For the game to be over with that, they call it mercy rule. I guess that's a better term than slaughter rule.
They call it what rule?
Mercy rule.
Oh, mercy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
Ball.
And it's probably
2-1.
Tim has his own name for it. I shall leave it alone. No, he called it the smear rule.
Oh, smear.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
That's
true
what it
too.
describes it. Up
Whoa.
high, runner stays at third. Again, I'll say it again. And if you get tired of me hearing it, Nicole Beavers, the catcher for Milton Wright, I'm impressed.
3-1.
Active. You
Yeah.
know, the ball's been all over the place, in terms of control.
Ball.
Enthusiastic, that's all the catcher can do.
Yeah. When that ball hits the dirt, it's anybody's guess where it's going to go.
And she is a freshman. I tell the rest of the league that, so there's the walk. So you'll have 4 more years to put up with that young lady. By the way, that was Maggie Mullen, the pitcher at bat, who walks.
Yeah.
So that will load up the bases.
13 running for the pitcher.
And 13
Ava
coming
Weimer
in. We
running
get
for the Maggie.
a courtesy runner in.
2 down.
Abigail Salzer, the batter. Abigail has an RBI ground out last time up, walked in the second inning, got a single back in the first, scored 2 runs, knocked in 1. Runner goes down to second base. Yeah, I'm saying,
Oh, she left before the.
I thought so. And that is done often as a courtesy on the team that's winning. They leave the base too soon, and that way the out is called. Let me try to explain that to you. You have to wait until the pitcher releases the ball to leave the base. The runner from first base, I thought had left awfully early, and did it, I believe, on purpose. That's the third out.
Yeah.
So the out is recorded, and the inning comes to an end, sort of as a mercy rule, if you will. They're already up by 10 runs. Now, if you're North Harford and Milton Wright scores 1 run, Here, you'll see the replay on this. You'll see how she takes off long too early. And again, she was just not aware. She did that on purpose. That was Ava Weimer, I think, Carol, you said, who was the courtesy runner.
Yeah. She was probably told to do that.
Yeah.
From the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
So my point being is, if C. Milton Wright does score 1 run, then the game would continue because you'd only have a 9-run lead.
Right.
Does that make sense? It sounded good coming out of my mouth, but I'm not sure it was so good hearing it.
That's the rule.
It is a 10-run rule where the team who's losing behind, trailing, has to be down by 10 runs, and the team up has to be, I should say the team who's losing has to bat 5 times. So if you're the home team, you have to bat in the home 5th. If you're the visiting team, in this case, C. Milton right here in the top of the 5th, you'd have to bat this time.
Right.
Funny exchange here. Catcher Jenna Tresac, the freshman, was getting ready to throw the ball down.
And nobody was there.
Nobody. She yells Tanya to the senior shortstop, kind of with a respectful term. Looks like now we have a new catcher in also, number 18 for North Harford.
Number 18 for North Harford is...
Let's see.
wait a minute, I'm on the wrong page. Excuse me. Abigail Salzer is 18.
Well, that's not her. Maybe it's 16 then, huh?
Brooke Trentler could be.
Yeah, I think it is her. We do
Yeah,
have
she's listed as a catcher, Don.
Yep. So North Harford takes their freshman catcher out and puts in a substitute catcher. We said her name is Brooke Trentler.
Mhm.
Brooke Trentler.
Trentler.
Ball. 2-0.
So now it's the number 3 hitter. This is the big hitter for C. Milton Wright, Caitlin Williford. Caitlin is 1 for 2. She reached on an error and singled last time up.
Yeah, Maggie's going to have to go through the heart of the lineup this inning.
Carol, when you're a .571 hitter and you're 1 for 2, your batting average goes down. That's not fair.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
I never had that problem. If I got a hit, my average always went up. If I was 1 for 10, my average still went up. I kid Cal Ripken because in that 32-inning game that he played for Rochester against Paul Tuckett, he came up like something like 17 or 18 times
Oh my goodness.
in the game.
Ah,
Longest game ever played in professional baseball history. Strike is the call. They couldn't get in touch with the league commissioner to let them call the game. They finally got him out of bed at about 4 in the morning, and he said, "You idiots, suspend the game." And they came back like a month later and played 1 inning. The game was over. Swung on a missed. Down goes Williford.
well, Maggie has sort of found her
One down.
niche.
She has that. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts in now 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah, she's settled in very nicely after that first inning.
Noelle Beavers, the freshman catcher, singled and walked. She's 1 for 1.
Ball.
Carol, not only are you the freshman catcher, you're batting cleanup for your team.
Yeah, Coach has got a lot of faith in her.
And Kendra Miller, your shortstop freshman, bats leadoff. So if you're looking for maybe the 2 key spots in the order other than number 3, which of course is Williford, it's your leadoff hitter and your cleanup hitter. Up high.
To me, she looks like she's even a little faster than she was in the first
You know,
inning.
Carol, I thank you for saying that. It does. It looks like maybe she's got a second gear or something.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about
She's-
Maggie Mullen.
She's gotten loose.
Swung on the mist. Maggie, the daughter of Christine Mullen, the head coach here. By the way, Christine played at UMBC from 1990 to 92, then went to St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Me either, yeah. Became a state policeman from 1995 to 2019. Retired and then said, well, now I've got nothing to do with my time. I'll just be a head coach.
There you go.
We're talking to her about Kim Iddings, who was the secretary here at North Harford for a long time, and She and her husband coached softball for many, many years.
Ball.
Well, 4. So you've got the coach for North Harford, who is an ex-policeman, and the coach for C. Milton Wright, who is an ex-Army veteran from Vietnam.
Yeah.
I called each of them sir and ma'am.
Yeah, betcha.
Absolutely.
Tom.
Elizabeth Harges now. Christine Mullen comes out. They're talking about something. See how quick I am, Carol? I don't know what they're talking about, so I
Right,
said
but, hey,
they're talking about something.
involving softball.
Yeah, involving, well, or maybe they're looking up dinner reservations.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that could be too.
I don't know.
16 for 1.
16 for 1. I think
Brooke
that's
Trentler's in
16
for
for 1.
Jenna Trezak.
yeah. Well, we knew that. We had announced that.
What?
That's
Well,
the
we
catcher
al-
change.
We already got that squared away.
Gosh, I feel so good. I'm ahead of the game here for
Yeah.
once in my life.
Yeah.
Harges. Shortstop Marks throw to first base. Back safely.
Good heads up try.
Hey now.
How impressive is Marks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That ball looked like it was headed for left field. She went back, casually made the catch, and straightened up and made the throw to first and almost got a double play. 2 out now. The last hope for C. Milton Wright to keep the game alive. Jenna Dwyer. Jenna has walked and fanned.
Oh.
Strike. Carol again, I don't know whether it was the senior day activities that Maggie Mullen was a little bit late starting the game, getting her act together, but she has really come on here from the since the second inning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's just loosened up and
Ball.
the juices are flowing and
Down to their last strike, the Mustangs. They have to get at least a run to keep this game alive as we're in the top of the 5th inning. They're down by 14-4, as you see, by 10 runs. Swung on and missed, and that is your ball game.
that should be the game. Yep.
I said this when we did a baseball game the other day. They had the 10-run rule, but they didn't call the 10-run rule, so I'm waiting now for the umpires to officially call it, and they do. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner's left on base, and so our final score, 14-4 for the North Harford Hawks. They win the game. They now are 8-9. Chance that they can win Monday against Aberdeen to go 9-9. The loss for C. Milton Wright is their 14th of the year. They are now 2-14. They have 1 game and now the county game left on Monday.
My question, do both teams have JV teams?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
They both have JV programs.
good. Okay. Well, that's good because you have to have that.
4 runs on 4 hits for C. Milton Wright. Carol, you just sing a song or something while I count up the number of the runs and hits for North Harford.
You don't want me to sing.
I've heard you
Bad-
sing. You sing very well.
Bad news, let me tell you. Ah, dear. Well, it was a beautiful day, good game. I wish C. Milton could have made it a little bit closer, obviously, but as you say, Maggie settled in after that first inning. In part of the second, she was a little shaky, but then she just seemed to get her second wind, and off she went.
14 runs on 9 hits for the victorious North Harford Hawks. 4 runs on 4 hits for North Harford. Let's count up the strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8 strikeouts. I may have missed one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. 9 strikeouts. 9 strikeouts for Maggie Mullen. Mullen wins her 6th game of the year against 5 losses. Kel, this is our last game, I believe, unless we schedule one more game next week, which I'm not sure about, but I believe it's our last game of the 28th year on the
That's
air
amazing. That's great.
by the Harford Cable Network, turned into the Harford TV. Just
Yeah.
want to thank all the folks at Harford TV for allowing
bet.
this to happen.
You bet. I just wish it had been around when I was coaching. I know it would have been around when I was playing. That's too long ago. But I know we had some great athletes at Edgewood and at Bel Air when I was coaching. It would have been nice to see them showcased a little bit.
Absolutely. 1994, we were allowed to start doing the game of the week, and we started on a very skimpy basis where we had to go out and get advertising dollars to support the cost of producing the games. And then the cable franchise fees kicked in after about the third week. And now we do somewhere between 33 and 35 events per year, usually 13 in the fall and either 11 or 10 in the winter and the spring. So it's between 33 and 35 events each year. And just so happy that the professionals, and that's who they are at Harford TV.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, they do such a great job. Their camera work, their audio work.
They
Yeah,
really do.
they really do. And Carol Barker, I can't thank you enough for taking your time out to come out here to North Harford
Oh,
and
it's always a pleasure.
be
Always
the
a pleasure.
commentator, and your good friend Cheryl Silence, who substituted for you a couple of times this year.
Yeah.
It's just been a pleasure.
Well, it's been a pleasure too, Don. I appreciate all you do. You make it easy.
Well, we have fun. We really do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Christine Mullen and her North Harford Hawks winning this game. Christine, the coach, second-year head coach here at North Harford. And Jim French, the longtime 54 years of coaching, 27 years at C. Milton Wright. Not just softball. He's coached football and basketball. He's coached anything that moves, he coaches. And
That was
you
like me when I was younger.
I love to. He told me he's 74 years old and proud to be 74 years old, a Vietnam veteran. And again, he said he may come back next year. He's going to take a couple of weeks off and, think about it and decide whether it's time to turn over to younger folk. I personally am putting in a request that Jim French stay on. He's the kind of guy that, you don't want to lose because he is so dedicated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We love folks like him.
Okay, well, looks like the rakes are out, so I guess they're getting ready to
Get ready to
cover the tarps.
call it a day.
Call
Yeah.
it a day, yeah.
Yep, this game was senior day at North Harford as the North Harford Hawks celebrate in fine fashion, winning by C. Milton Wright by that final score of 14-4. So, Carol Barker, any closing comments on the game or on life in general or the price of tea in China or anything?
No, I guess not. I mean, it's just so much fun. I just enjoy being out here, and I still stay active with my ladies' church team, and I love the game of softball. I always, as I said, USA Today did a survey years ago now, when they first, I guess when USA Today was new, and they did a survey of athletes and of statistics, analyzing and so forth. And baseball and softball, hitting a baseball safely or softball safely was the number one most difficult sport, part of sports. Throwing a touchdown pass, no. Scoring a soccer goal, no.
Right.
Hitting a baseball safely. I mean, everybody can hit a baseball, but, can you hit it safely? And, well, the obvious answer is there's only been, one 400 hitter?
Yeah. Yeah, since 1941.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching, the folks in the booth said they're running out of things to shoot. We're watching the North Harford, the Hawks players out doing groundwork.
Yeah.
It's one of the things they do. Yeah,
Maybe they should talk to Nicole down at Camden Yards and get on the waiting list.
Yeah, our final score again, 14-4. One more time again, thanks to all the folks at Harford TV for allowing this to happen. And
Thanks, guys. The booth, you did great.
to Tim Larimore, the AD here, and to Christine Mullen, the head coach. So hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the 2021 and 22 season on air here on Harford TV. We hope to see you again next year. So until then, for Carol Barker, my partner, Don Morrison signing off from North Harford. Our final score, the Hawks winning by a final score of 14-4. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.